Hello, my name's Alexandra Wagner, and today I will be presenting on the surveillance of Dracunculus medinensis, colloquially known as guinea worm. Guinea worm is unique as a surveillance topic as the disease is close to eradication globally, and therefore surveillance of the disease must be highly refined to accurately capture the current state of the disease. We can credit the success of the current eradication campaign to accurate surveillance data, which allowed interventions targeting guinea worm eradication to successfully pinpoint which types of interventions would work best, and more importantly, where to target these interventions. Guinea worm is a parasitic infection caused by the nematode roundworm parasite Dracunculus medinensis. Individuals become infected with guinea worm after drinking water contaminated with guinea worm larvae. These larvae are found in infected water fleas, specifically of the Cyclops and Mesocyclops species, which are typically found in stagnant bodies of water, including ponds, lakes, and untreated wells. Once ingested, the larvae grow inside the abdomen of the infected individual over time, approximately 1 year, at which point symptoms begin to present themselves. Once the female worm reaches a size of approximately 1 meter, they begin to slowly emerge from the body, which is an extremely agonizing and painful process. A blister typically forms on a lower limb, most commonly below the knee, which can be accompanied by nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. During the course of the parasitic expulsion, individuals are commonly rest-bound, unable to walk or partake in day-to-day life activities. It can take anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks for the worm to become fully removed from the body, and it is common for the individuals to have multiple worms at once. When individuals enter water sources to soothe the pain of the blister, the protruding parasite releases thousands of larvae, perpetuating the cycle. Although death from guinea worm infection is extremely low, short and long-term disability, especially after multiple infections, are common. Individuals may face cellulitis, sepsis, and joint arthritis, causing long-term disability and motility issues. Infections may limit the individual's ability to work, farm, and partake in household chores, which impacts the economic status of the entire family. At the start of intensive surveillance of the guinea worm epidemic in 1986, guinea worm was reported in over 3.5 million persons across 21 African and Asian countries. After intensive eradication efforts from the Carter Center, the number of guinea worm cases was reduced to just 30 worldwide in 2017, split evenly between 2 African countries, Chad and Ethiopia. As of 2018, 28 cases were reported worldwide across 3 countries. 199 countries in total have been declared guinea worm free as of 2018. The main risk factor for guinea worm infection is the consumption of dammed and contaminated water. Individuals who are uneducated about guinea worm transmission and prevention techniques, as well as individuals who do not filter their drinking water, are more likely to become infected. Living in a village or rural town increases one's risk of infection, and adult males are the most likely to become sick. Head of households and the sons of head of households are at an increased risk of acquiring guinea worm, as well as those whose occupation is farming. A nomadic lifestyle also puts one at a higher risk of infection, as they are more likely to consume water from a wide range of sources. My 3 surveillance questions are as followed. What are the trends between 2016, 2017, and 2018 in the number of reported guinea worm cases per year? How do these cases of guinea worm vary by country? And what are the trends in animal infections in relation to human infections? The significance of these surveillance questions is to assess the final stages of the guinea worm eradication program and to assess which groups still need to be targeted. The comparison between 2016, 2017, and 2018 is important to assess if current interventions are effective, as the worldwide total of infections approaches 0. The importance of where these infections are located is to appropriately target resources and assess the demographics of hotspot regions. The comparison to animal infection rates is crucial in understanding this new element of the disease to prevent a relapse in worldwide guinea worm rates. The data source for this project was the Carter Center and Center for Disease Control's monthly and annual reports database. The Carter Center heads the eradication program and is the primary source for reliable guinea worm surveillance data. The Carter Center utilizes ministries of health, local community volunteers, and organizations such as the CDC, World Health Organization, and UNICEF to organize and execute their surveillance activities. Through their database, we are able to track monthly updates in guinea worm surveillance data going all the way back to 1983, as well as can find summary information in their annual reports dating back to 1982. The Carter Center Surveillance Program utilizes a community-based surveillance system where village-based volunteers are trained to collect and record guinea worm case data. This data source is extremely thorough with great attention paid to detail, which is especially important when surveying a disease close to eradication. The dataset is easily navigable and updated frequently, making real-time data available. However, the number of villages under surveillance has been continuously growing, making it difficult to easily compare guinea worm rates year to year. The annual number of reported cases of guinea worm remained approximately the same from 2016 through 2018, with an average of 28 cases per year. There have been slight fluctuations in this number, however, there have also been fluctuations in the size of the surveillance area. Due to the recent increase in surveillance area size, we can assume that actual guinea worm numbers are still globally decreasing, although the Carter Center data shows a stagnation. Guinea worm has remained isolated to 4 African countries, with one anomaly case being reported in Angola in 2018. Mali has been guinea worm free for 3 years, however, has not been classified as guinea worm free by the World Health Organization and therefore remains under surveillance. Chad has maintained the highest rate of guinea worm infection, accounting for 50% or more of total cases for the past 3 years. Ethiopia saw a quick rise in cases in 2017, but reported no cases in 2018, and South Sudan has not reported any cases since 2016, of which were all isolated to one nomadic herding community. The 4 primary countries of interest all had reported animal infections. Chad by far had the most reported animal cases, with 1,040 domesticated dogs and 25 domesticated cats reported in 2018. Ethiopia had a total of 17 reported animal infections, and Mali reported a total of 20 animal infections. The last reported animal infection recorded in South Sudan was in 2015. When comparing these rates to human infections in the same year, there appears to be a correlation between the 2 rates, with a higher animal infection rate indicating a higher human infection rate. South Sudan can be classified as an exception because although they had 10 reported cases in 2018, all 10 of those were isolated to one nomadic herding community and were promptly addressed by the Sudanese Ministry of Health. No cases of guinea worm infection in either human or animal populations have been reported in South Sudan since. The community-based surveillance system utilized by the Carter Center is a bottom-up system. Reports originate with village-based volunteers and then move up the reporting chain to zonal coordinators, sub-district coordinators, district coordinators, and only then to central coordinators where the data reaches the Carter Center. This long chain of reporting leaves room for errors if the quality of each surveillance team and checkpoint is below average. Additionally, there are some areas known to be missing surveillance data, as the regions are not safe enough for Carter Center staff to enter at the current time, such as certain regions within Mali. Animal infection rates may also be unreliable, as the surveillance of animal infections by the Carter Center is very new and currently focused on solely domesticated animals. This may result in the number of animal infections being drastically underreported. The Carter Center surveillance system has been highly effective in reducing guinea worm cases globally and has been the main contributor to poison guinea worm as potentially the second disease to be eradicated globally. However, annual cases of guinea worm remain stagnant as the surveillance regions continuously expand. Guinea worm remains contained to approximately 4 African nations, of which guinea worm infections are isolated in rural village communities. The rise of animal infection rates should be a concern of the Carter Center Eradication Program and Surveillance Force, as animal infection rates appear to correlate with human infection rates. The next step in the surveillance and treatment of guinea worm is to expand the surveillance of animal infection across 4 African regions. From this data, the Carter Center can begin to address animal infections by deciding which water sources to treat with abate, a larvicide, as well as what regions to encourage the tethering of infected dogs and burial of potentially infected fish guts. The Carter Center and local health ministries should continue to incentivize the reporting and tethering of infected dogs by providing financial rewards. And finally, increased funding and resources should be allocated to Chad to ensure surveillance across all villages within this country, as well as increase the intervention strategies that are present in these hotspot regions. Additional information can be accessed via my references. Thank you.